the face. Morning, everybody. Good morning. If anybody prefers, we also have this on the YouTube channel as well as a link that we can send to people if they prefer to catch up this way. Obviously, being on this session live allows me to be able to critique stuff live. We're going to be doing a bit of that today to get your messaging sorted, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. So good morning, campers. Good morning. Let's do this. Hi, Judith. How are you doing? Good. Right. So let me just share screens and jump onto the presentation. And here we go. Welcome to day 2. Essentially, remember we talk about having your $1 million hour, and actually we're talking about that hour being the main thing that we're going to do to work on your business. That's what this is. This 9 till 10 is your hour, and I'm going to try and finish about past, giving you the ability to spend the extra half an hour to be able to do the stuff today, because what you can get done in half an hour focused work is amazing. So let's do it. So yesterday, really quickly, we covered the fact that this can be done, and we get messages and get replies. We do it. These are the last few sales that we'll be able to make. So 50% of my sales coming from LinkedIn activity. This is the structure that we're working through today, and we discussed these 2 bits yesterday in terms of priming your profile and then writing that messaging conversation, so messaging outreach text today. So it's in there. So we then did a search and we looked at the opportunity. So your market, in this example, 197,000 people are the potential opportunity for me in terms of coaches plus UK plus speaker. And then the low hanging fruit is there's 743 of them that I'm first degree connected to, which means that I can send them a message, the type of message that we penned yesterday. We then primed our profile for that audience because we're getting ready to actually go and connect with them. And so we have this formula of who and how we help, and then why they should listen, second part of that formula. So hopefully you guys have now updated that lovely headline, so it's looking rocking and rolling. This then was the message, the outreach message, this straight to the point. As Steve was saying, actually it wasn't Steve, it was Pete, wasn't it? That it's something, it's interesting how something direct that actually makes you ask for a meeting. Sometimes we friend zone our audience too much. So that's the message that we put together. Cool. So when I was looking at the feedback in terms of what I was seeing people writing yesterday, just a couple of bits that I wanted to just kind of say as a group. The first thing is, remember, this isn't a connection post or a message, right? So we're not actually looking to connect with them with this. It's way too long, way too direct to be a connector post. This is a message to your current first degree connections. Okay, we're going to cover connector messages later today, so it's not that, it's to your first degree connections. Okay, it's a message. So that's the first bit. The second bit, sometimes we're over communicating. So we're using long sentences of sort of a bit rambly. It's a little bit like a country lane sometimes I was seeing. So I think we need to be a little bit more direct. Remember, it's straight to the point. So let's also make the language and the sentences quite snappy within there as well. So don't over communicate within there. And then the final one is a really long-winded call to action. Like, you know, it would be lovely if we could potentially be able to maybe jump on a call at some point, or alternatively, maybe you could be able to jump into my Facebook group or whatever it is. And it's just like this huge, like over communicated call to action. Whereas if you go, I'd love to jump on a call with you next week, bam, right? Because remember, we scan. That's what we do. We scan. If someone has put a very forthright message towards you, and you want that to be a very direct message, tell me exactly what you want, and I go, maybe I'll go on, then I'll jump on that call with you. If it's a little bit like, you know, give me a couple of options, then I tend to choose none. Okay, so that's what this is about. So try not have a long meandering over communicating message. Cool. Okay, so just feedback from the room. Excuse me. How did you guys feel like it went yesterday, and any thoughts in terms of the feedback that I gave on the call? Thoughts now from the room, or feedback that I gave in the Facebook group? Anybody, you know, I hope I didn't ruffle anybody's feathers with it. I was all trying to be kind, but thoughts, gang?
I didn't get mine up on the group, but I worked on it a lot. But when I stood back and looked at it, it was long and rambling, and I was being polite, and I know that's exactly the opposite of what you're telling us here, but I know that when like the last guy said, when I get one of those, it can be a turn off. But you're right, if it just hits one or two people, then it's a step, isn't it?
Exactly.
Don't want to put somebody off.
Well, look, in terms of our necessity, we have, and we coach our clients to kind of have five strategy sessions equal 2 sales. That's what we try and help them in terms of close rate. So if you get 5 meetings off the back of this, then you could be looking at 1 to 2 sales, right? So when you're sending out 80, 160 messages or whatever that we're going to look at working, whatever your market is in terms of those first degree connections, then there's sales in them there. Connections, right? And that's what we're here for, right? LinkedIn's a tool, so let's use it sometimes to be a little bit more to the point. Thank you though, Jane. Do jump out, do put it up on the group. I was there late last night doing some feedback for people, so I'm more than happy to help. Cool. Any other thoughts before we jump in? Yes, Alan. Morning.
Hi. So Richard and I know each other. We've known each other for a long time. So I think the question is still very relevant. I sent you a long old spiel which we'd actually created together, which is actually the transcript of my film. So now hearing you today, I'm realizing that's not really what was required. What I have done is a short 3 tiny paragraphs on taking my scorecard. So I'd quite like to post that on the Facebook group and get your feedback on that and see if you think that's the pertinent, immediate, grabby call to action for my first connections, because I've got 240 first connections on Expandy and I'm ready to roll that out the moment you give it the nod.
Yeah, I think remember, we're trying to get people into meetings. So that the purpose of this 5-day challenge is to get those meetings. So maybe make the call to action that just jump straight in and say I'd love to have a chat next week to talk to you more about it. So maybe do that, but chuck that up on the group. I'm more than happy to have a look at it for you, Alan. No worries. Cool. Last question to Kevin, and then we're going to jump into the concept for today. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Richard. With my audience, they can be really packed with their upcoming week. So I expanded my call to action to say in the next couple of weeks, would you recommend using a diary link? Because then they can do it on their terms and it's immediate and they can just click through and book straight away and you're in, off you go. From
testing, it works less well. The reason why is that we want people to be able to actually make a response. So to want them to respond with a, yeah, that sounds good, then you can go back with a diary link, but we've got to entice that response first. That's the idea.
Can you do both? Could you leave it like that and then say alternatively?
I'd say it's over communicating. It's giving too many things. I would just go snappy. Honestly, we tested it, and putting the Calendly link in there is also, strangely, it feels a little bit like, oh, you want me to just jump in your diary, do you? It's because remember, you are getting right straight in, like, hey, let's make it straight to the point. I'd love to work with someone like you. I do this. Let's jump on a call tomorrow, or next week or whatever it is, right? So just let them come back and say, sure, why not? And then you go, great, and then you then give them the Calendly link.
I can always test it, just like you do. Just do a bit of
you can test it. You can test it, but because we have tested it, that's the results that we've had.
True. And if you have any mental space, I filled mine in. I did my homework, but this morning. So if you have any mental space, I'd appreciate it.
My space is always mental, but you, my friend, will be top of the list. Don't worry.
Oh,
so chuck it on.
To my ears, Richard.
Right, I'll stop flirting. Right, let me jump on it. Right, so I'm glad they went well, guys, and got it in there. And as I say, I will be this whole week. I'm with you guys, right? So just keep on putting stuff in the group. I'll keep across it, right? So we're going to start sending these messages today, and the system that we have is the 100 Club. Okay, guys, I want all of you guys to hit the 100 Club today and tomorrow. Then you're going to have a break on the following day, right? But we want you to hit the 100 Club. Okay, let me just show you what that looks like. The first thing is 80 messages. to your first degree connections, right? That's the first part of the 100 Club. 80 messages of this straight to the point you're going to send today. Okay, so that target is your first degree target audience members, the message you created yesterday. Okay, who are those people? The low-hanging fruit people. So, you know, we did this search, we found these people, we used this little drop down and we found them. Let me just demo that just so you can see it. We had here, do you remember we did this search here? So coach plus speaker plus UK, and we used this drop down and we selected first degree and we looked at. So in this instance, there's 333 of those results in there. So we're going to send this message to them. Okay, so you're going to go out and get that message. Where have I put it here? Okay, and we're going to take this message like this. So you're going to copy this message. We're going to then jump onto this search results, and you're going to go and click this button on the right hand side which says message, right? And we're going to simply put it into here. Now I just wanted to show you, there's a couple of here that I want to actually show you on purpose, right? So you can see here that I did a little connection request here with this person back in May 2001, right? So you will all probably have a very similar scenario where your first degree connections, at some point you would have connected with them. So you may well have had a chat with them. You might have said, great to meet you. You might have sent a connector message, they may have tried to connect with you and sent a message, right? But like this, so 2021 May, it may have gone the way, hey, how's things going? And then I've just said, look, would you like to come along to my event? And nothing's happened, right? Classic LinkedIn. You kind of said hello a bit. You didn't really continue the conversation, and the conversation died because you were the last person who spoke. They never replied, boom, right? So this is why this message is great, because it's perfect to sort of reconnect, rekindle the conversation. So I'm going to paste this in here. I'm going to then change the first name. This is all I'm doing. So into make sure it's spelled right. Lovely, good. And you say, I don't want to take it straight, let's get straight to the point. We're looking to a partner of expert entrepreneurs. We'd love to schedule a call next week so I can show you more. Bam, send. Done. One done. So have a piece of pen, have a piece of paper, and literally just put a stroke of a one right next to you. And then just simply come on to the next person here. Let me just get rid of that. That person's done. And then I'm going on to here. Look, similar message that, hi, coach to coach. Thanks for reaching out. This year's well, I've gone back. May 21. Look, nothing happened there since then. So I'm literally doing this and I'm coming back and I'm just working through. Okay. Work on a search, press send like that. Work on a search and work from the top and just keep on going through until you hit 80. Then write the name of the person that you get to when you get to number 80. And that's the person that you're going to pick up from tomorrow. And then you're going to do another 80 tomorrow.
That's
cool.
No.
Oh, is that a question, or is that a? No, I think that's someone. Having a chat. No worries.
Quick
Steve,
question.
Yes.
Sorry if I've missed it already.
Sorry, Alan. Yes.
Have you given us access to that particular script, or would you?
Yes, that is the script from yesterday, but I will chuck it into the chat for you again. There you go.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all. And if you're watching on the Facebook Live, I'll chuck it into the Facebook Live as well. There you go. That's the one from yesterday. So this is the straight to the point DM campaign. Cool. All right, gang. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Steve, yes, question.
Yeah. If we haven't, I mean, 80 is fine, but if my first connections are in that market, but if they're not.
Great question. Great question. So the point being here is when you're doing your first degree connections, you do that search, and the hope is that you'll be able to have a few hundred in there, and you're doing it manually, right? The thing with it is that you may realize that you're not actually connected to enough of your target audience. Yeah. And that's a big aha, like, oh, crumbs, I'm trying to like build my business here and I'm not even connected to 80 of my target audience. So what am I expecting? Obviously, clearly LinkedIn's not going to work for me. So we're going to solve that bit later. Now, I will say that, remember, just because you did coach plus speaker plus UK or your version of that, you could just try and find, coach plus UK. and that might give you wider amount of people. You could try and look at it and say consultant plus UK, you know, or just consultant, and see how many consultants you are internationally access to, right? So that's part of it. Okay.
And can I just ask, how do you keep track of who you've contacted and who you haven't, and who's replied and who hasn't, so you don't keep replying to the same people a week or a month later?
Don't worry about that bit. We'll come on to that, right?
Thank you.
It's a case of we'll show you how to continue the conversation. We're going to be doing a nudge campaign, which is going to follow all of these people up later. Okay, so we're going to do that tomorrow, and we'll go through that. Cool, no worries. But for now, just those 80 people. So let me just kind of show you that's part one of this. So I want you to unleash the messages that you've been crafting, and we're going to look at first feedback from how everybody's doing with those messages tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. So let's remember it was this. So just make sure that you're all happy with this. And if you're not, do jump into the chat and ask questions about it, but get those messages out today. Okay, remember it doesn't have to be perfect. Good is good enough. You're just doing 80. Okay, the second part of the 100 Club is 20 connection requests a day. 20 connection requests a day. Okay, so you're going to connect with 20 of those audience members, and we're going to write those connection messages. Okay, so just remember before we jump onto that which audience members this is. So we're now going to move this, and we're going to get rid of first, and we're going to go second and third degree, and we're going to show those results. Okay, so these are, oh, looks like I'm getting a response already. Cool. Okay, so we'll see how that one goes. So you can see here that we got those 5,000 of results. These are the people that aren't there. So what am I going to do? We're going to try and connect with all these people. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We want to move more people into our first degrees within this search. That's the game. Okay, and we're going to do it 20 a day. Why 20 a day? Well, organically, LinkedIn has a limit of 20 messages a day, or 100 a week. Okay, so that's where you want to work that. Now, if you are doing this manually, just be conscious of doing too many searches. If you do too many searches, you will find yourself getting in a position where you're where LinkedIn will say, hey, you're overusing it, you need to upgrade to like Sales Navigator or Premium. Okay, so what my suggestion is when we're sending out these messages, if you want to look at any of these people, right click on them, open them in a new tab. Okay, and then you can see this person's profile. You can go through this person's profile, you can go check them out, etc., to see if you like them, and then you can go and X out of that person's profile, and you still are in the same search. Okay, so I haven't researched, I've just right clicked and looked at it. Okay, that means that this is the same search, which means that you're not researching every single time that you're trying to do a connection request by clicking them, clicking back, which means that you will not trigger that kind of limitation on LinkedIn. That's an important point. Okay, guys, so use the right click, view in new tab, come back if you need to. You may not even need to, you could just go connect, right? So that's how to handle this. Now we want to talk about the connection request itself. I've got 3 options for you. Okay, so this first option here, well, the first 2 options are what we call a semi-familiar ask. So we want it to feel like it potentially could be someone that I know, and so hence why, therefore, I will kind of agree, right? So you can see here, the first one is, hi, LinkedIn showed me your profile multiple times now. I thought I'd reach out. Simple as that. Like it's, you know, that one is LinkedIn's kind of telling us we should be friends. So let's be friends. Okay. So it's quite a nice one. The one that I use is this one down, the second one, which says, yeah, hi name, it's Richard. That feels very semi-familiar. Like, oh, it's Richard. Do you remember Richard? Just a friendly coach to coach. Hello, how's things? Okay, so that's me being able to say, hey, we're both coaches. Now, if you are not targeting a similar industry to yourself, like you could do a marketeer to marketeer, hello, or something like that, then you want to add in an industry. So Kevin works with IT founders, so he might just say, hi, Dave, you know, it's Kevin, just a friendly IT sector hello, you know, or friendly, you know, startup to startup hello, how's things, something along those lines. Just something that kind of helps them to think, oh, okay, you know, this is sort of someone that's kind of industry sector sort of saying hello, or, you know, just a friendly whatever it is, right? So just try and shoehorn in something industry in there. That works really nicely. It's a really nice, easy. You see, none of this is trying to be too clever. It's all trying to be very short in terms of the like sentence.
Richard, can I just pause you there? Because what you've done there is it's like a coach contacting a coach. But I think for most of us, we're not contacting people like us. We're contacting our clients, and our clients aren't like us, but we're in the same industry. So
Yep.
could you just address that one? So
yeah, that's what I was saying. So you would add the industry sector in. So what's your industry sector?
well, it's technology founders.
Okay, cool. So you can say, hi, Dave.
I'm not a technology founder.
It's
right?
Kevin, just a friendly founder to founder hello. How's things?
But you know, I run my own business, but I'm not a technology founder.
Be your
I'm a
founder.
coach. So it's coach to founder.
No, I would just say founder to founder. You are a founder of a business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
You-
Yeah.
what you if you go coach to founder, it's kind of a little bit like you're trying to flog me something.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels like that. So just do a founder to founder, or, you know, just a friendly startup to startup hello. You know, or just a friendly startup hello, or just a friendly founder hello. How's things? Do you see how? Or you could just lose it and just say just a friendly hello. Just do that. Just a friendly hello. Remember, what we're trying to do here is just make it feel complete. It is completely non-salesy, unoffensive, unobtrusive. It's completely opposite to the straight to the point message. It's purely growing your network. We need to get them in, so then we can get straight to the point with them.
And that's preferable than not putting anything in, which is what I've been doing.
I would A/B test that, because there's no reason why you can't just do it as a blank request. There's no reason at all. But I quite like a little bit of content in there, a little bit of text. Let me give you another option. So this is more like a user joke. So if you could find a little short joke or something funny that you could just put in there, and you're targeting someone. So for example, if I'm trying to target coaches or therapists, etc., I might do something along this lines. You know, how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but the light bulb doesn't really want to change. Jokes aside, we love to connect. Something like that could just a little bit of a pattern interrupt, and that could work well. So if you have a really fun one-liner joke or something along those lines, I've seen those work quite nicely. But that's a bit of a left field concept. Natalie, yes.
If you already, I mean, I've identified that I need to grow my list, but if you already know them or have met them at an event, is it okay to then just be that little bit more familiar?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Remember this is so I want to set you guys up for speed. So I'd love to be able to copy paste, but then when you see the outlier and go, oh, that's Phil, and then you just be like, right, hey Phil, can't believe we're not already connected. Great to see you at the XYZ show. Hope you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't remember, this is all about speed and using one system to be able to just help that machine work. But as soon as you see any way to make it a little bit more familiar, definitely use it. Cool. Let me just show you this. Remember our friend Pete yesterday that we were talking about in terms of standing out with his connection request? Let me just click here. So this was the actual connection request he sent, right? So I see we both work in the podcast world. I don't have a podcast, but I love you, Pete, anyway. I thought it would be good to connect. As such, I've decided not to send the generic linked invite. Fingers crossed, right? This genuinely is his generic LinkedIn invite. So he's clearly using that on everybody. A fisherman knows another fisherman. So but I like it. I like his attitude. It's good. So I thought it was quite fun. So That's sort of, so I've decided not to send your generic LinkedIn bio. I think that's cool. It's the illusion of something that's unique to the person, even though he's probably banging that out all the time. Cool. So I just wanted to sort of show you that. And fingers crossed, you know, it is a bit of fun. So, you know, he won the connection by that, so I accepted it. Cool. So that's the opportunity, gang. I want you to pile into that opportunity, do that search, pile into it. So your actions from today is send 80 first-degree connections of your straight to the point message. Then I want you to write the connection message using our template. And actually what I'm going to do, just as I'm giving those actions, I realized that I should probably just help out by chucking these into the chat. So let me just do that as we're on live. So I'll put this in here. So the first one's in the chat there. The second one is in the chat here. And the third one, if you really want to have my witty humor, is in the chat here. Cool. Okay, so they're all into the chat for you then. So we want you to, here we go. Oh, there we go. Right, let me just get back up. Good stuff. Okay, so write the connection message using our template. So I'm going to I will take some questions in a second, gang. So I just want to give this recap if anybody wants to then jump in and get this started. And then send 20 audience members a bespoke connection request, you know. And if you don't like them at all, just don't even put a message. Just make sure you hit the 20, right? So you got to hit the 100 club by hook or by crook, hit it. Okay, so that's the idea. So we want to start to layer. One, you want to get more opportunities to grow those first degree connections, and secondly, you want to hit up your current first degree connections with your direct ask. Okay, hit that 100 club. Now, before we take questions, tomorrow we're going to be setting up the appointment setting and qualification techniques. So when we get in replies, we're going to help you to make sure that not only are you getting people into those meetings, but we're also going to help you to qualify them beforehand and warm them up a bit before they actually get into a meeting with you. So that's going to be a really exciting piece of sort of sales process that we'll be talking about. And we're also going to then recap and make sure you hit the 100 club again tomorrow. Okay. So we also have on tomorrow, and I just want to get this into the diary. Remember, I mentioned at the start of the 5-day challenge that we're going to have a couple of demos on what the $1 Million Sprint is about. So if you are excited about some of these ideas that we're sharing, I'm doing a full demo of the $1 Million Sprint system tomorrow at 12:30. And it's not just the LinkedIn bot, but it's the end-to-end process. I'm also going to demo on how this whole LinkedIn process can be automated and fits within that process. And I'm going to demo how you can outsource the rest of this system to people once you start closing deals and you start to build a team. So you're just doing sales conversations, and this entire process is being given to a team member and some automation, right? And then finally, we're going to help you to demo what type of product you should be selling. So we're talking about high ticket sales and actually looking at your system and how you can create a high ticket offering that you can then start to scale your business with using these tactics. So that's what we're doing at 12:30 tomorrow. So would love you to jump onto that. Obviously we've got the 9 o'clock session, but it's a bonus session on there. So I'm going to just put this into the chat, which is a booking link for to be able to jump on there. So do book your space there. Perfect. So here you go. So that's that's in the chat there, and I'll just chuck it into the Facebook group, and then we're taking questions. So it is in there. Good to see you guys live in the Facebook group on the live session. So I've chucked in the booking link for you guys for the 12:30 session. Cool. So you got two options now. One, fire away with your questions. I'm here, right? And we can go through some great questions in the chat already. Secondly, jump off the call, start getting your 100 club, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Cool. So let's take some questions. Steve, over to you.
Yeah, so again, it's going back to how are we keeping track of who we've sent a message to and who we haven't? And as we add new people in, are we downloading? Or don't forget, it doesn't easily download to all these days, does it? So how are we keeping track of the existing and then the new ones of who's replied, who hasn't?
So the replies are easy because they'll just be in your inbox.
Yep.
Right. And we're just going to work through the inbox replies. And the concept is to get to inbox 0. So you'll receive inbound replies into that LinkedIn inbox, answer them all. So you're the person that's answered them. Basically, that's it. So just work that inbox. In terms of how you get to, how far you get to, just take a note. So if you do a search for coach per speaker and you're going to do 20, go through those 20 and then write down that you got to Dave Smith. And then from tomorrow, you do the search again and you go from Dave Smith and you carry on going down.
Well, I mean, but would the search often bring up the same people twice or in a different ways is what I meant?
No, they tend to always come up in exactly the same way.
Okay.
And when you've got hundreds of people in there, it's, you will just work through it slowly. Every now and again, obviously someone joins an industry sector, right? Or changes jobs and changes job titles. So there's a few outliers, but this is more momentum than over worrying about those 1s and 2s.
Okay,
cool. No worries. So just use a piece of paper with the little lines on it. It's a great way to be able to keep track of this stuff. Cool. Good stuff. Questions, gang? Further questions? So I got here people saying, as a startup founder, I get lots of salesy connection messages. I just don't accept them. If it's empty, I'll have a look at what you do. If you are friendly but not salesy, like I might accept it. So that's why you can see those messages that we're doing. I would say that they're completely non-salesy. That's the point. Just like a friendly hello. That's to come. So when you think about the straight to the point message, yes, it's salesy, but the whole point of it is it's bam, straight into the point, right? You are provoking interest in someone jumping onto a call with you. When you're doing connection requests, you're keeping it very short, very light, very non-like buy my stuff, just a, hey, let's connect. Cool. And so I think that probably speaks to what Pete's saying there in the chat. Good stuff. Further questions, gang? What would people like to do?
I'd like to know what that guy responded to you in, well, that you sent out that message first and he came back to you. Was it a positive?
Let's have a look. No doubt it will be something awful. Let's look. I'm not even going to pre-look at it. We're just going to go and have a look.
Man.
I'm going to be brave. Got to stand by my stuff. No doubt it will be something. Okay. Much appreciated, but I'm too consumed with my ventures at the moment. I'm not focusing on coaching as of now. Fine.
Fair enough.
That's cool. But yeah, we're looking for responses. But that gives that, for me, that would give me an opening just to say, yeah, no worries at all. What's the big thing you're working at the moment? In fact, I will show you exactly what we say. It's the template we use. So I'd say, oh, that's all. What's the we better do one of these. What's the big thing you're working on? Right. So what we're trying to do here, so let me just give you an insight into the responses, is that I'm looking to try and get them to tell me about the big project that they're working on, that they're consumed in. And when they say, oh, I'm doing this and this, they go, oh, great. Well, look, what are you looking, how are you going to launch that? Or how are you going to market that? Or what tool, what are you going to try to be able to make that happen? And then hopefully they'll say something like, oh, well, we've got a bit of a strategy together, but I'm not quite sure about whatever. And then I can say, well, look, have you ever tried to do, a Facebook group, or have you ever tried to do a LinkedIn outreach campaign, whatever it is? And then I can then go add some value. And then they go, oh, well, how does that work? And they go, well, look, I'll tell you what, why don't I jump on a Zoom with you and I can show you how that works. Bam. No. So it ain't dead. It's just all these things are just not yes. And also it gives me the opportunity when they come back to show a little bit of credibility, i.e. to give you some ideas, because the whole point of this is I'm trying to give more. The more I can offer value, the higher my kind of cachet will go up in his mind, and potentially it might be right at some time for us to have a chat. Simple as that. Cool. Lovely. Why not? Get put on the spot. I love that. Phil Donovan says, what's the Facebook group called for this challenge? So let me just share that with you. So it's the using LinkedIn to make sales in 5 days. But I'll chuck that into the chat for you, Phil, if you haven't got onto it yet. Good stuff. Right. Perfect. People are getting cracking. Natalie's getting cracking. Further questions, gang? I'm hanging out.
I've got a question. Did you get a chance to look at my upgraded bio and snappy message?
I didn't. I can definitely have a look at it. Do you have it? Do you want to share screens and with me now, and I'll have a look at it?
Okay, I can. Let me see. I'm going to do that terrible thing and show you a picture of yourself for us. Oh no, I'm not actually. There we go. That was
okay. Yeah, it was great. I think we had 60 odd questions, or 60 odd comments on that feed, which is awesome. So we're looking forward to. I'm going to put a post up that's going to say who hit the 100 club. Cool. Okay, so Gavin, helping brands. So we probably capital H, only just splitting hairs there. Helping brands, agency, and retailers tell their stories with class leading photography. Okay, photographic who is devised visual styles with personal brands. Right. Tell their stories. Class leading photography. Class leading. I guess that, I mean, yeah, I get what you're trying to say there. It's tell their friends with.
Does it seem incongruous?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not. It's no drama. Yeah. So who are you targeting? Agencies, retailers, brands. You're covering off a lot of demographics there, but that's cool.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I work with all three. So, I mean, I think it's going to involve some tailoring of my message depending on who in particular I'm targeting.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It just needs to cover. It just needs to back up who you're talking to. So when you're reaching out to them, if they're reading that works. Best in class, Kevin said, which might slightly work better. Good. Okay, that's cool. Let's have a look at the message outreach.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll pop that into the chat. And obviously this is tailored towards the brand side of things.
Okay, so we're saying, I don't want to take up much of your time, but let me get straight to the point. I'm looking to partner with awesome food brands who are in need of awesome photographs. Double awesome there, I'm not quite sure. I run a food photography studio and service whose aim is to demystify and simplify the process of commissioning images of your products. I'd love to schedule a call next week so I can show you more. The demystifying and simplifying the process of, why don't we just talk about, I run a food photography studio who specializes in producing industry leading photography of image products. The demystify and simplifying the process of commissioning images. It's almost like you are making it more confusing by saying
I'm mystifying it, aren't I?
You're mystifying it.
Inadvertently mystify. Okay, no, that's cool.
Yeah, just remember what it is. It's like saying, I do amazing photography of product. I'm sure you've probably commissioned stuff before. I'd just love to be the person that does the next shoot.
Perfect, thank you.
Something along those lines. And that's what you're doing. Let's jump on a chat. You're hitting people at the right time. Remember, that's what this is all about. Just getting people at the right time and sending enough messages to make that a weekly thing, that you're getting somebody at the right time every single week. That's the idea.
Thank you.
No worries, Gavin. Wicked. Okay. Happy to take further questions, gang. If you're shooting off, jump in there, get to the 100 Club. We want to see you in that 100 Club, gang. Further questions, gang? Pete, sorry, Pete, yes.
Yeah, I got a question about adding people and finding people on LinkedIn. So I'm particularly looking for angel investors, and it's not the sort of thing people put in their profile. So a normal search isn't as easy to sort of find someone. Is there a way through like groups or another way? Is there any other ways that you found of finding the right leads in that, you know, when it's not written in their profile as such?
Have you done a search for angel investors? Because there's quite a few people that do write it in their profile.
Yeah, I have done that, and I have found some, and that's kind of probably where I'm going to go if I don't find anything else. But I was just sort of thinking, like, if I was an angel investor and I was serious about it, I'm not sure if I'd put it in my profile or not, or whether, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should just see what happens.
Yeah, I would go after, or investor, the people do identify those. How many people when you search for it? Let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, so you would probably want to do this. So angel investor store, and then if
I do angel investor in quotes and then impact, because we're sort of an impact business, I get 705. So that's probably a good start.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you need impact so much? That's the piece that people may well not. That's the bit that I probably wouldn't see people adding in. If I was just angel investors, one of the things I'd have. So you look here, and this person's kind of adding out. So they're a NED, angel investor, advisor. That's kind of a common sort of string when people are talking about stuff, similar to this. I imagine it's probably in there somewhere.
Actually, probably searching for a non-exec director or a NED, that's probably quite a good shout, because I think some people do put that and then they end up going on and investing once they sort of learn a bit more about the business and stuff. So that could be a good one as well. Yeah,
that could be a good one. So this is where a few searches come in. Not med. There you go. Look at that 2,200. Yeah. So have a look through it. Things
cool.
with Neds. I quite like that as the first search, really, because there's plenty in there to work on. So yeah,
great. Yeah, I think so.
No worries, Pete. Good stuff. Gavin, yes.
Would you recommend putting links to external information in the initial message?
No. Just don't bother driving off. Like the first of all, the connector message is all about just getting the connection. So we don't want to make people take another step. Just sort of say, we'd love to connect with you. Well, bam. So I wouldn't do anything other than just focus on getting that connection. Second, with the straight to the point, when you're putting out a bit more meat on the bone, I would, I'd be thinking about it from a just driving the call, just getting a response. And if you're making people click on stuff, then you tend to lose them in their own thought process. You just want to inspire someone just to quickly reply, happy to have a chat. That tends to be the route. Happy to have a chat.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. In fact, I think I had one today. Let me just out of interest. So here you go. So sent out this, don't take up time, get straight to the point, and a few other kind of messages, nudges. And then he said, thank you for the message. We could arrange a chat to better understand what you offer about the challenge you mentioned above. Let me know. So it's that. So once I've got that type of response, so that came through today, then I'd be going, great. Are you available Wednesday next week or Thursday? Go back there, or I'd be going, cool, well, maybe the best time for us to jump onto both of each other's calendars is by sending them a calendar link. Cool. So it's that type of message. Lovely. Cool. Well, look, any final questions? I've got time just for a final question, and then we'll close for today.
Richard, can I just post you my version, my copy, whatever. I'll just post it, see what you think.
Okay.
I can't speak anymore. Oh, where's it gone?
Okay, good. So
Just give that the one side.
hi, first name. I don't want to take out your time, so we get straight to the point. We're looking to partner with head teachers and marketing directors from independent schools who are awesome at what they do, but need more pupils. We produce corporate videos designed specifically for independent schools, and I think you'd be a great fit. I would love to schedule a call next week so I can show you more. Perfect. Get after it. That's it. Why
Thank
not?
you. Appreciate that.
Love it. Cool. On that note, gang, big love. I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And do remember to jump onto that booking, and I'll just stick it into the chat one more time. Do remember to jump into that 12:30 session for a demo of what we do tomorrow. Good stuff. Thanks again. And I'm going to chuck it back into the Facebook group as well. So see you all on the flip side, and catch you at 9 tomorrow. All right. Cheers, gang.
Thank you. Cheers,
Bye.
Richard.
Bye-bye.